Welcome to Learning the Ropes. I'm
Hello.
Matt.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Tyler, the young lion.
Young Lion Tyler, I got a question for you.
All right.
What do you know? What comes up in your head when I say the name Akeem the African Dream?
Excitement. Excitement, if I'm being honest.
All right. I ask because he's important-ish for for this build-up. More important than I kind of thought he was going to be when we started research for the build to what we're covering this week is the mega powers explode, and necessary for that we have to cover what the mega powers were up to. And so after SummerSlam 1988, which is what we watched last week, the mega powers would feud with a tag team of Akeem the African Dream and the Big Boss Man, and their team name being the Twin Towers.
Oh, I see. Pre 9/11.
Yeah, this is pre 9/11.
Also, for context, Akeem the African Dream, his gimmick was he was from Africa, from deep in Africa. He was white.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Oh, it's taking turns.
Not a
I was
black
not ready
man.
for it. I take back my excitement comments. I mean, appalled.
The Big Boss Man, his thing was he was a cop,
That sucks.
but at least they were the bad guys here.
You got Elon Musk and fucking cop. Cool.
So they're feuding all throughout like the late summer into the fall, and then at Survivor Series 1988, Hogan and Savage, they captained a team.
Survivor Series 5-on-5 rules. There's 5 men to each team, and it's just elimination back and forth until there's only however many remaining until one of the teams is fully eliminated. And the survivors are designated sole survivors, and wouldn't you know it, Hogan and Savage would win the match as sole survivors for their team. And as a callback to SummerSlam, in the celebration, our friend Hulk Hogan gets a little bit handsy with Macho's girl.
Mm-hmm. Weird.
Gets a little bit handsy with Miss Elizabeth.
And then, like, after the match, Jesse Ventura sits down and has an interview with Randy Savage. And he just fucking fans the flames. He's like, man, Savage, aren't you so angry for how Hogan's behaving towards Elizabeth? And Savage would be like, yeah, you know what? I am angry.
Dude, Jesse the Body Ventura is such a catty bitch.
Oh, I love it. He's such...
And I'm here for it every day.
Yes, it's...
just a pot stirrer.
We need more giant men who are just catty bitches. It's what we need.
And further fanning the flames would be that Miss Elizabeth took up a little bit more of a directly managerial role for the Mega Powers as an organization, because she started accompanying Hulk Hogan out to Hulk Hogan's singles matches. So now she's not just coming out with Randy Savage, her man, and the tag team that he's a part of, the Mega Powers. She's also coming out solo with Hulk Hogan, managing him for singles matches against Haku and Bad News Brown at Saturday night's main events 17 and 20. And at Saturday night's main event 20, Elizabeth would be ambushed and handcuffed by Akeem the African Dream, Slick, King, Haku, and Big Boss Man. Just all of them.
Yeah.
They just gang up
and
on
literally,
her.
Boss Man,
ambush her.
As we mentioned, his thing was he was a cop. So he would have, handcuffs and shit. And literally, he would just, he wanted to try and beat Elizabeth with a nightstick.
What? Wait, like in character or like the guy,
no, guy in character. As part of the show, they were going to beat Elizabeth with a nightstick, but Savage comes out and makes the save, beats down all the baddies, that helps Elizabeth backstage. But they also had beaten down Hogan, and so they just Savage just leaves Hogan behind in the ring, just all fucked up. But goes to make sure Elizabeth is okay.
Thanks, Macho Man. A-Cab.
Macho Man says 8-cap.
A-Cab includes the Big Boss Man, unfortunately. But yeah, so Savage leaves Hogan behind, and then we jump forward again to Royal Rumble 1989, where Hogan would accidentally eliminate his teammate Randy Savage, leaving Big John Studd to win the Royal Rumble match. And so now, there's still increased bad blood on both sides as we head into the main event too, where the Mega Powers would face the Twin Towers again.
Oh, that's
and during this match,
that puts you on a watch list now when you say that.
Oh yeah, the Mega Powers face down the Twin Towers.
Oh yikes!
Oh no. And during this match, an important thing happens. Randy Savage is thrown over the top rope onto Miss Elizabeth.
Oh no!
Crushing her under the weight of his macho madness.
Quite literally, probably.
And knocking her out.
And it actually, so Savage gets back in the ring, and then Hogan's the one who, he's not tagged in, so Hogan just, grabs Elizabeth and carries her to the medical area backstage, just leaving Savage to get beaten down by Akeem and Big Boss Man. And, it would cut between backstage and the actual action in the ring. Elizabeth's just pleading with Hogan, go help him, please. And Hogan eventually comes back out and tries to tag in, and Savage is pissed at him. He Savage, starts to mount a combat, and then Hogan's reaching his arm out, and Savage just looks at him and yells something at him, and then slaps him, and then leaves.
Oh, nice.
He grabs his WWF title. It just leaves the match. And also, apparently, that counts as a tag, because then Big Boss Man fucking throws Hogan into the ring.
Nice.
And Hogan's the legal man.
Yeah.
And now Tyler, knowing what you know about wrestling, who wins this match?
Hulk Hogan?
Absolutely he does, brother. Absolutely he does. 2-on-1 scenario.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan has his teammate abandon him, leaving him alone in a handicap scenario. But when you know it, the Hulkster still goes over. What a hero. Backstage, Hogan would come back after the match and go to check on Miss Elizabeth, only to find Macho Man Randy Savage just yelling at her about getting in the way and shit, and how she shouldn't have been there for him to fall on. At which point Savage sees Hogan and accuses Hulk Hogan of trying to steal his girl and his title, and finally tensions boil over. Macho Man Randy Savage attacks Hulk Hogan backstage.
And of course, as a response, Hogan challenges Savage to a title match at WrestleMania 5. The weeks lead, because the main event 2 is in February, so we still have a few months of build going into Mania 5. And the way to decide to build is they would have Savage come out and show a super edited and out of context clip of Hogan and Elizabeth as proof of Hogan tried to steal his girl.
That's so
and Hulk Hogan just responds with facts and logic.
Yeah,
it's Hulk Hogan just dismantles him with facts and logic. He's just no, it's not what happened.
I love that. It's so petty.
They play absolutely butchered clips of Hulk Hogan apparently being.
They're just cut together. They're I love Elizabeth. Yeah. They're all just cut together.
And Hulk Hogan is this isn't true. These are lies. Yeah. And Miss Elizabeth caught in the middle. She's conflicted about what corner to be in for this match. And she decides in the end that she's going to end up standing in just a neutral corner. She's just going to be at ringside, trying to support both men.
Oh my god.
Somehow in their one-on-one fight to the finish. At WrestleMania 5, It's time to watch Tyler the Mega Powers explode.
Sounds fucking awesome.
Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage.
Sounds so good. Let's do this.
And we're back from watching the match. Tyler, first impressions. What did you think?
That was solid. That was a good match. That was fun. I love Jesse Ventura as always. He's a real bro.
He's just a Sigma male.
He got your back.
Stone cold hater.
Even if you're wrong, he got your back, which is all that matters. Of course, Hogan won. Bullshit.
We haven't seen Hogan lose yet.
Will he ever? Spoiler.
Will he?
No, maybe.
Well, you'll have to wait and see.
No.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura, absolute 5-star hater.
I love it. So good.
Nobody. I hate Hulk Hogan. Nobody hates Hulk Hogan like Jesse Ventura. Nobody. Yeah. The whole match, he calls him the luster, the dumpster, the chumpster.
The chumpster. Calling all of his moves illegal. Every single
anything
one.
He does. Hulk Hogan breathing in and out. Instant disqualification. Meanwhile, Macho Man Randy Savage. It ain't cheating unless you get caught.
Yeah.
And Macho Man was out to kill Hulk Hogan.
Strangling him.
Straight up with his bare
Cutting
hands.
his eye.
But yeah, classic Hogan finish.
Just no sells your finish.
Yeah. Gets hit with Macho Man's biggest move.
And then just gets back up.
Yeah, kicks 2-count kick out, but only because he didn't move as fast as he definitely could have. Because he was clearly he was moving to kick out at 1, and then just the kick out happened to come a little bit after 2. He was not hurt by that finishing move.
Yeah,
this is your first true Hogan hulking up moment. This is a classic thing that Hogan would do, is he would get beat down and stand back up and shake his fists and do this weird breathing face.
I saw the breathing face. It was very disturbing.
And the kids loved it.
Cause he did it in the Andre the Giant match.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of gets covered by the fact that he picks up and slams the Giant.
Yeah.
And that moment feels huge, and that kind of covers the fact that he did the Hulk up shtick. And so this is the first time really where you get to experience that breathing like a fish out of water.
Yes, it was very disturbing and uncomfortable. I'm glad, I guess, some people like that. The freaks.
Kids in the 80s, dude, including in the audience, maybe Don Jr.?
Maybe Don Jr. And definitely Donald Trump. It was Trump and some kid, or it was Trump and one of his kids. It had to.
Which is funny, because, this was the first time we noticed, or definitely the first time I noticed, I don't know about Matt, but this is the first time I noticed that we could just see Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, I totally didn't notice him, when we were putting, the notes and stuff together for this. I didn't notice him at all. I've never noticed him in this match.
Yeah.
Until Tyler points him out. I was like, wait, is that him?
Yeah, he's having a good time.
To be fair, it is at Trump Plaza.
Yeah.
Which I believe doesn't exist anymore.
Trump Plaza closed permanently. September 16th, 2014.
Right, because it was Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino. It was his casino that failed.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was surprised, because normally at an arena, it's not the arena stops being a thing. Normally someone buys it and renames it. But no, this one just closed and was demolished.
It could no longer handle loads. Shoddy construction.
Dude, it got demolished February 2021.
That's way more recent than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Which also brings me around to I don't know, I had a weird thought this time around watching this of the aesthetic of this WrestleMania, with the walkouts being done basically just down an actual aisle of between the seats. They had the security on either side of them. Like I thought that was kind of it's miles away from where WrestleMania is now that it's like it feels so interesting and different to me.
For sure. Just like like seeing the little amount of like production value almost in it.
Yeah.
Because like really it was just like there were curtains hanging that had the WrestleMania logo on it, and then like a big WWF sign. That was kind of it.
Yeah.
Or like like now it's like, oh, we're gonna build a fucking giant ass pirate ship out of LED screens.
There's gonna be a globe that you walk out from underneath that says WrestleMania around it, and also a roller coaster. Like,
And also,
yeah, well, you'll see, Tyler, that WrestleMania gets bigger and bigger all the time.
Remember, no one beats WrestleMania 3 when the Hulkster slammed Andre the Giant in front of 23 million people.
Yeah,
yes,
just
the entire
billions.
population of his country was there.
And yeah, so this was kind of like the it's like a pretty good Hulk Hogan match
I'd say it's the best Hogan match
Yeah.
we've seen.
that we've seen for sure. I think.
Yeah, I think so far the best of the three that you're seeing for sure. Because like he actually gets pushed here like a little bit. Granted, he's Hulk Hogan, so he's not getting hurt that bad.
Right, when me and Andrew were like putting notes together for this, Andrew, didn't you count how many bumps Hogan actually took this match?
I counted how many bumps. I'm not sure my count is 100% accurate. There were some that were like debatably a bump, of what we were watching that we said that's definitely 100% a bump. There were 3. That was my count of what we watched and went definitely a bump, and not like some kind of middling reaction to. I counted 3, which is still somehow it feels like more. Like, and I remember like the reaction to when Hulk Hogan does this like quick little drop toe hold move.
Oh yeah, Hogan moves super quick for like a millisecond in this.
Yeah, it was impressive. When we were watching it to take notes, I literally popped for that. Like I was hyped for like, oh, Hulk Hogan did like a drop toe hold, like doing some crazy shit.
It does go back to the Hogan formula of just rest holds.
The best rest hold, strangle him to death with
Yeah.
your bare hand.
Yeah.
Miss Elizabeth.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude gets fucking bullied out of this match by Macho Man.
Yeah.
Very aggressive.
Dude, at this point they're like actually married too. That made it, I don't know, more disturbing to me.
Dude, it definitely made it kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was very uncomfortable.
It's anytime it's I don't know, it's just it felt so kind of real, like I was actually kind of scared, partly because like I don't know, I know that we're gearing up to eventually enter a period of definitely man on woman violence in professional wrestling, like being a thing that can and does happen, but like I didn't know, like I at this time it's like, oh, they might like have the bad guy do some, but I don't know how much they would have the bad guy do of like I didn't know whether or not Savage was actually going to hit Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah, because like in the build we kind of talked about how Big Boss Man was going to try to hit her with a nightstick, and it's like, yeah, you just don't know where the line is at this point in time.
Yeah,
because it's like it's the 80s still.
They did throw Hulk Hogan at her in this one. Straight
yeah.
up.
He did throw Hulk Hogan at her.
He chucked them at her.
You know what this made? You know what I also thought about, just because this is the 80s, and like thinking about Hulk Hogan, I was just like, man, we had like Hulk Hogan and Ronald Reagan at like the same time, and that feels so on point. I don't know. There must have been.
There probably was a crossover, right?
There must have been.
Yeah, there probably was.
Hulk Hogan was probably at some point like there's got to be footage somewhere of old Ronnie Reagan being like, Hulk Hogan's my favorite, like
Yeah.
Reagan's favorite wrestler, sorry, and Hogan's favorite president.
Yeah, there was some for sure spots in this match. I'm like, this feels like you couldn't say this stuff today, or do this stuff today.
Jesse the Body straight up saying women like Elizabeth don't belong in the ring or around it.
Yeah. Yo, I don't want to argue with him about that. I don't want to. Maybe he had a point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe for their own safety, they shouldn't be around the ring.
I mean, yeah, I felt it did make me feel kind of good for Elizabeth when she got kicked out of the match.
Yeah.
Like I was like, yeah, she's probably safer back there. Even though Ventura had, also he advocated that Macho Man should maybe hit her.
Yeah, also maybe allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly advocated for this.
So that was the Mega Powers exploding. As always, we like to rate our matches on the classic Big Dave Meltzer 5-star scale. It's the classic Dave scale. I don't know how many stars count. There are negative stars, which is a thing that I learned because I feel like you never see them. But anyway,
ratings.
Yeah, this is the segment where we rate things. Matt, what would you rate this match?
It's interesting because I kind of have to look to see what I rated Savage Steamboat. What did I give that? I gave that a 3.5 because I liked this match. I think it tells the story that it needed to tell. And I think I'm going to give it a 3.
3 stars.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not a modern classic, but I think it holds up pretty well, honestly.
Yeah. I definitely I think I agree with you. It feels like I mean, I've been kind of joking about it, but like I feel how high the stakes are supposed to feel. Like this is the Mega Powers, like these two monumental personalities, and I think they kind of deliver on that, like that kind of feel, and not necessarily I think the best way. I think I'm weaker than you on it in that I would probably give it 2.75. I think just like a little bit under 3, because I think the action still suffers a little bit from Hulk Hogan like syndrome of like it does the Hulk Hogan match, but like it's still kind of delivered on how big the stakes felt and how important the moment feels. And Tyler, the young lion.
I was a little bit higher before you guys started talking. I'm gonna go with the 3 though. I thought it had like good pacing, which I feel like a lot of Hogan matches don't have a good pacing. This one had good pacing. But after hearing you say like, yeah, it did have the Hulk Hogan action thing, where it was just kind of like a lot of like holds and just a lot of just kind of like, I don't know, him walking around the ring. But like the stakes things, like, is for sure. I think it's kind of like pushes it like kind of higher for me. Is that like it did feel like a big moment, even not having seen all the previous matches. Like it did, you could like tell there was history here. So I'll probably go with like a 3.25. I want to go higher than a 3, but I don't want to go to like too high. So 3.25.
Yep, 3.25 stars from Tyler. Matt, what Big Dave think?
Big Dave think 2.75 stars.
Andrew.
I'm the same. The wrestling intellectual.
The wrestling intellectual.
I'm the guy that knows. I agree, Big Dave. That means better than you.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those where like there's kind of a range where you could like tomorrow, if you ask me, I might say 2.75. The next day, I might say 3.25. It's like,
yeah.
So if I had watched it twice, like the two you guys do, I might go lower. But for the first time seeing it, it's I think higher for me. So
that's what's actually weird was that like I was feeling a little bit higher on it the second time this time we watched it.
Interesting.
And that's so I think the same thing kind of applies to me is that I feel like it could make that jump up, you know? Like I thought it was it felt good. Like I actually kind of got excited for the Hulk Hogan finish this time around, which is weird cuz like
I thought it was
that's
cool
the worst.
even though I hate Hulk Hogan. I did think it was cool.
Dude, never forget fuck Hulk Hogan, by the way.
Hulk Hogan.
I understand why kids were excited for it, kind of deal,
Yeah.
you know? Especially when like I guess you kind of have to put yourself in the mindset that he's supposed to be a hero, and like inherently, I don't want to cheer for Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, because of all the things he's done.
Right, inherently, I don't want to cheer for Hulk Hogan, but like if I like force myself to be like, okay, Hulk Hogan is the good guy in this match, then like
yeah, it makes more sense then.
Then like the Hulk up moment feels a lot better. It makes it feel like fucking Superman coming back from being like beaten down by like Doomsday, you know?
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, like it's Hulk Hogan, so it's like you kind of know he's not gonna lose, but there's like a moment there where you're like, oh shit, is he gonna lose? You know? It's like there's like a few like actual like hard moments where you're like, oh, this could actually happen, which they sell well in this match. Oh, I don't know. Maybe Hulk Hogan doesn't sell well enough when I think about it.
Good Hulk Hogan action next week. More good Hulk Hogan action.
I don't know if I would say good.
Yeah,
no.
I guess more Hulk Hogan action. I shall refrain from an adjective on the Hulk Hogan action. We have a monumental moment of wrestling history. Another meeting of gigantic personality. Another clash of titans. This time, Hulk Hogan goes face to face with some would say his toughest challenge yet, the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6.
I don't think I know who the Ultimate Warrior is.
Oh, you're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, we'll see y'all next week.
Hell yeah. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
Iron Sheik for life.